Welcome back to Arizona Daily Mix. We are in part 4 of our series Crimes Against Children, and joining me this morning is Detective Scott Carpenter. He's with the Scottsdale Police Department, an investigator in the Human Trafficking Violent Crime Unit. We appreciate you being here. This is a very, very important subject. We know it's a nationwide issue, but it's also a problem here in our state and in the Valley. Give me an idea of what the situation involves here in especially the Phoenix area. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, this is not happening in my backyard.
Oh, absolutely. This issue really, it's one that crosses all racial boundaries, socioeconomic boundaries. It affects kids in Scottsdale, it affects kids in South Phoenix. Statistics are hard to come by because it's a black market, so to speak. But we definitely see day in and day out people being trafficked in almost any city in the state. You can find somebody that's a victim of trafficking. It's
horrifying just to think about. Tell me about some of the misconceptions that go along with these cases that not only people in general have, but also in law enforcement.
Sure. The biggest issue that we see, the misconception is kind of that historic perception that females or males that are involved in prostitution are there because they enjoy it, they want to be there. And while there is a small set that does this as a profession, the vast majority of the people that we deal with are being trafficked in some regard. And that's been one of the biggest challenges in law enforcement, is to change that perception from our side. We've accomplished that by providing training. Now officers, when they attend the academy, actually receive a block of training on this so that as soon as they come out the door, they can recognize human trafficking when they see it. We've provided training in Scottsdale. And just getting out and talking to people in the community. The hotel industry has been a big partner of ours. They recognize it and call, and we're able to go out and we've developed quite a few cases where we've recovered juveniles that were being trafficked because of cooperation with the hotel community and things like that.
Well, it does really take the entire community coming together and being aware of what's happening and being willing to step up and actually make that call and report it. Talk to me about the community collaboration that you've seen with organizations like Arizona Human Trafficking Council and the Phoenix Task Force. How important is that to helping you when you investigate these cases? It's
vital. The reality is, we don't live in the community, day in and day out. We're not there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week as individual officers. So we need the people that are there to recognize that something doesn't look right, be it a hotel staff member or an Uber driver or somebody walking down the street that looks over and sees what they think to be a very, very young girl or boy walking up and down the street. We need communication from the community to help us, and then there are a whole variety of non-governmental organizations that we work with, Trust and Cease, that work towards demand reduction. They provide us with analytical support and things that as this is a new issue to law enforcement,
right,
at least the recognition of the victimology of it, they've helped us quite a bit in providing training and getting us up to speed to understand that this isn't just a girl that wants to be out there prostituting at the age of 15 or 16. Or even at 35 or 40, but that they're victims and that we need to treat them in a different way and
the approach
hold
is
everybody.
Different.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And hold everybody accountable.
Well, how difficult are these cases to investigate and prosecute?
Yeah, I've been in law enforcement for 25 years, and these are the most satisfying cases to do, but they're also the most challenging to do. Quite often the victims don't recognize that they're victims. They think that they are doing it of their own free will, even though over time we're able to show them you really weren't. They've been manipulated or whatnot. Getting them in front of a jury can be challenging because of those notions that people have, oh, she's just a prostitute or whatever the case may be. And then identifying, probably the biggest challenge for us is identifying the demand side of this, which is the buyers. I mean, this really is a very male-driven issue, and trying to hold buyers accountable to get the word out that if you buy sex in Arizona, there's a very good chance you're going to be contacted by law enforcement and you're going to be arrested. That's how we really think in the long term we're going to have the biggest impact on this particular issue.
Well, it takes a village, as we like to say, and the community being involved, so getting out there and making sure that everybody's educated is so important. If you'd like more information, you could go to endsextrafficking.az.gov. I apologize, I'm losing my voice. Again, it's endsextrafficking.az.gov. Detective, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you
We need
for
to
your
keep
time.
talking about this. All right, more Arizona Daily Mix right after News Fix right now.